ki khubor ka Batisi TV lawan ra shapi ta ka Orange Nissan Loom so pho near Fire Brigade Shillong
Kaseng Kongres Kabashong Hakalyang Persha Jong Kaying Dorbar Tauan ke Jilla Hagakhatlai Terik Ubenai Nailor Arajar Arpway Kalatakranting Halor ke Jing Pynslem Jong Sorkar Megalia Democratic Alliance Thung Yo Chief Information Commissioner Ubatmai Jong Jilla Hagajing Yakaren Bat Kilat Pathai Kubor Unongelam Jong Kalyang Persha Dr. Mukul Sangma Ulaong Baka Kongres kanam syong klikti bandawa ya ke Sorkar baka day Thung no mardor yo Chief Information Commissioner kenang baki jingto akit hakabaya day bat kino ki jingduna hakitanat trekam ke Sorkar kinam saateng bat kinam sakut no tang hasiteng lenti.
There are institutions. Every institution under the government are created and established with a purpose. Now it's an offshoot of the Right to Information, the act which was enacted. And this law which empowers people to have access to all informations, what is the purpose? The purpose is to create a deterrence from the tendency of anybody who is vested with the responsibility of implementing number of programs. Because in spite of all the prevailing and existing check mechanisms which were capable of having check and balances, the process of implementations of program were found to be wanting. There are always scope for irregularities and instances of alleged corruptions at the level of implementation at the ground zero. Therefore, it became important to empower the people. So it is an empowerment of the people for the purpose of ensuring that stakeholders themselves assume upon themselves the responsibility mandated by this law, and therefore you empower the people to be, capable of acting like a watchdog. And this is something which is important. Why? If every individual in the rural areas are capable of being able to act like a watchdog, it will only help the government. So from here only you can be probably drawing a conclusion as to what is the priority of the government. That means the government doesn't want this kind of institutions which are capable of empowering people and capable of identifying instances of irregularities and instances of alleged corruption. Because it is happening on the ground. That's why they want to ensure that it is not there. Let me be blunt. Another one is that, what about the law Ayukta? If you go by the preceding 3.5 years, the whole attempt of the government was to weaken this very important institution, which was designed in order to deter the tendency of corruption at the high offices. Now, if you go by all these developments, how institutions after institutions, then next you go to another important organization, the police organization. What has happened to the police organization in the state? You go by each transfer and posting and be analytical from the day one that this government has come into office. Every appointment you be analytical. The transfer and posting of inspector, the transfer and posting of sub-inspector, the transfer and posting of other senior officers including the SPs, DIGs, IGs. How these transfers have impacted in ultimately creating an environment which can be capable enough of defiling the whole positive energy that was visible in the police organization. Now, these are only tip of iceberg in as far as reflecting the intent and priority of the government of the day. Therefore, I have always maintained that people must be able to understand and be analytical on the intent of any individual whom they want to give the kind of mandate to take the charges of governance in the state. And this is something which is very crucial for the democracy to be vibrant and to be sustainable. Now, you are seeing, that lots of anger, frustration, they may not be majority, but are they not indications of the anger and frustrations because of lack of governance and other instances of irregularities, alleged corruption? Now, when the authorities are found to be moving ahead with complete lack of sensitivity and with complete impunity to allow these things to happen as perceived and as being visible, then this will only amplify the the whole negative energy that is moving around across the state, and you're gonna have bad days ahead. So it is therefore important for people to understand how it is important for us to look at our responsibility while we exercise our right to franchise in giving mandate to anybody to take charge of the hand of affairs of governance. Anybody taking a wrong decision, anybody creating a mess in the affairs of governance impacts everybody's life, and more so, it affects the life of the future generation.